So what I've now been doing for now many years is I study how venture capitalists make decisions. And the whole point is that I realized is that they make decisions very differently. Very differently from most of us, okay? Those who are investors outside the venture world, those who are in large corporations, those who are in non-profits, those who are in the government. And there's a reason behind this. There's a reason to this seeming madness. Because venture capitalists have been facing forever what I would describe as a very hostile environment. The environment where they faced very large uncertainty. They always faced very high failure rates. They always faced the situation of unknown unknowns. So that in order to survive and succeed, they had to come up with a completely different decision-making process, with a completely different mindset. And that's what I've been researching and teaching now for more than 10 years. So let me give you a few examples. And some of them will be maybe very familiar to you, especially if you were in the venture capital world. But I hope to surprise even those who are in the venture capital world. So let me give examples of two principles very quickly. One is home runs matter, strikeouts don't. What this really means is that one thing I did mention, what I did not mention is that in 2015, I founded the Stanford Venture Capital Initiative. That is effectively the research team that is doing a lot of interesting, fascinating stuff on venture capital. And we collected the best data. So every single venture-backed company in the US in the last 50 years, we have data. So I'm going to mention some statistics now. Home runs matter, strikeouts don't. About 73% of all early stage venture-backed companies fail. So investors lose money. These are strikeouts. And then there's quite a few companies that are not really losers, but are not also great winners. And then, on average, out of every 20 companies that VCs invest in, there is just one company that is a home run. And a home run is the company that returns at least 100x, at least $100 on your dollar. And the whole VC business model is to maximize the chances of a home run. So it's okay if you fail a lot. I remember how a famous venture capitalist came into my MBA class many years ago, and he had this fund that he raised in 1999. So all the companies failed. And so an MBA student asked him, so that was like very unsuccessful fund, and he said, no, I still have one company in the fund. And that one company still can return 1,000x. Okay? And then this actual fund will be very successful. So what is really interesting is that when I now advise many venture capital firms, one of the points I'm telling them is that, do you know the risk that you have? Your startups don't fail fast enough, or you don't have enough failures. It's exactly the same with the corporate innovation. I advised the CEO of a very large company. And, these executives are flabbergasted by the statistics. But more importantly is that if you don't seek failure or constructive failure, you're trying to avoid the situations, you will not be able to catch home runs as well. And so that specific situation, the CEO, I was talking about the statistics here in examples, the CEO would turn to his chief innovation officer. This is a $100 billion company, okay? Chief innovation officer said, so we have a lot of incubator startups, intrapreneurial projects. So what is our failure rate? And there was a very proud answer. We have no failures. Well, they had no home runs too. So this is the first principle, but behind this principle, in fact, are a lot of strategies of how to ensure that you create a framework where you, in fact, maximize number of strikeouts. So you're not afraid of strikeouts. but at the same time, you also increase the chance of getting home run. And some companies, both small and mid-sized and large companies, are in fact very, very good at it.
Stanford University.